help it that you popping and they stopping. You can't help it that you packing and they lacking. You can't help it that you great and they late. You happy and they crappy. Ain't got nothing to do with you. That's a damn problem. That's a damn problem. That's a damn problem. Ain't got nothing to do with you. That's a damn problem. That's a damn problem. That's a damn problem. Ain't got nothing to do with you. That's a damn problem. Love you, bye.
So welcome back to my channel. Thank you to the new subscribers. Thank you to those that keep tuning in. So today we're gonna get into some more Kanye news. Now, I know from the Drink Champs interview, Nori apologized on Kanye's behalf, and there was an uproar about that. But now it looks like Kanye has indeed came to apologize himself with on the Piers Morgan show. So we're gonna go ahead and check this out. I do my best not to get too far into the political lane or get too far into the religious lane while discussing certain topics. However, with this situation, there were other situations that had came up. One of them was with Nick Cannon and Professor Griff, and I'm sure there were some more, but the Nick Cannon and Professor Griff one stuck out to me because I remembered that when the video got pulled from the internet and Nick Cannon had to apologize. And then I do remember watching another video some years back about this topic as well. So we're gonna get into this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and let those clips play for y'all. Like, share, subscribe, comment. What are y'all thinking? Have y'all heard this issue before? Have y'all heard of this topic before? What side of the fence are y'all on with it? Because to me, I'm this is not something new. You know what I'm saying? I've heard of it before. So I'm going to share that with y'all after we give commentary on this.
You don't hold accountability to my pain. You're being a Karen.
I'm talking about. I'm not a Karen
to the pain.
I'm not a Karen, and I'm not going to cancel you, and I'm not going to uncensor you. I'm simply going to challenge you on what you're saying. I think you don't understand the pain that you've been causing with some of these comments, and I think that one in particular, I can understand.
Oh my God! God forbid! God forbid!
No, I think it's funny because I think a lot of people wish you could cancel Kanye. But it's kind of I think people have tried to cancel Kanye. It doesn't. I don't think you can cancel Kanye. I don't see that being a thing. You know what I'm saying? Because he gets his social medias taken away, he's still Kanye. He comes back even harder than before. So it's at this point, can you cancel Kanye? Is that even a thing?
One comment could cause people to feel any of the pain that my people have went through for years. Even the blacks being ushered to the left during the civil rights movement. No one has cared about black people.
All right.
No one is.
Let me say, I agree that the racism against black people has been utterly deplorable, shameful, unacceptable, and thank God the world is beginning to move to a better place about the way it has treated black people like you. However, one form of racism doesn't justify.
It's almost in a better place. But
one form of racism doesn't justify another.
It's not a better place.
I'm not cutting you off. I'm finishing my sentence so you can respond. One form of racism. It is racism when you say I'm going death for Jewish people.
I was in a position where I've been hurt, and this is the way I had the right to express myself. The point of this interview is for you to question me and then for me to answer and say, okay, even though the same rules are not applied to my people, if a person with a gun or drugs is pulled over and has three other people in the car, they're all going to jail. I'm not going to apply that to Jewish people for the sake of this conversation. Isn't that what you wanted? But you know what you did? You tried to civil rights me. You tried to pull me back to a week ago. But we're here today. There's been plenty of conversations and commentary since that. But you want me to go back to 1960.
No. Here's
you
what
want me to go back to 7 days ago.
All right, let me jump in. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to reflect.
Okay, so have we grown? Have we grown?
Here's how we grow. Yeah, here's how we grow. I want you to reflect.
No, have we grown? Have we grown? You're not in charge of my growth. You're not in charge of my growth, Chris.
Okay, let me phrase it like this. I'm about to suggest to you how you may grow if you choose to grow this way. And you can ignore me. You can ignore me.
Piers, how much money are you worth?
Not as much as you, sadly.
Exactly. So take my advice. Maybe you'll get richer.
I would love to take your business advice.
Why would I listen to you?
Well, why do you hear what my advice is and then work out if I'm wrong? Can we do that deal?
Well, the thing is, you haven't given me any credit or a moment of reflection for the comparison that I made, the brilliant, if I do say so myself, comparison that I made to the cops pulling over one black person and locking everyone up.
I understand what you're saying.
And my tweet having issues. Wait a second, I wasn't done with the sentence. My tweet referring to all Jewish people, and I said, for the sake of this conversation, I will refer to the business people who have destroyed me and my people and my fellow creatives. But you didn't even accept that I gave you that. You tried to push me back into 1960.
No, I didn't.
You tried to push me back into last week.
No, I didn't.
Okay, do you accept that example that I gave you?
I understand completely the example you gave me. I think all racism is wrong.
So I feel that we've grown.
I would like you to reflect.
I feel we've grown.
If
you feel we've grown?
If you've now changed what you wanted to say originally, my question for you is, do you now regret saying DEFCON 3 on Jewish people? Are you sorry you said that?
No.
I think it matters. You should be.
Absolutely not. You know, I will say I'm sorry.
See, I think it's one of the things is that when Kanye says things, people want him to, like, redact what he says. People want him to be like, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? You were so wrong for that. I take back what I said. Like, we have so many situations now where the moment somebody says something, if it offends, then people want whoever said it to immediately feel like they did something wrong. The world, depending on what perspective you're looking at it from, the world has become so sensitive. And I say that in a sense of, it hasn't even become sensitive to everything. I was just having this conversation with somebody at work, and I was saying that the world has now, like, taken situations that shouldn't be made a big deal out of on certain platforms and in certain ways. It has now been, like, shoved down people's throats that everything is offensive. You feel what I'm saying? But while everything is offensive, there's still things that are being overlooked. There's still things that are being swept under the rug. There's still things that are being taken as a joke or taken lightly. So it's like the things that shouldn't matter to us on certain levels, you know what I'm saying, unless they affect us, those things are being pushed in our face. Like, no, you need to care about this. You need to care about these rights. You need to care about these rights. Whole time, there's other rights that have been being fought for eons and decades and centuries, but we're not supposed to care about those. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to be still getting offended about that stuff because, oh, that was a while ago. That was, you know what I'm saying? And so when it comes to people saying, bless you, when it comes to people saying history repeats itself, history does repeat itself. However, even with that, there's people who come in and I'm not even going to say they give their opinion, because sometimes it's not opinion. Sometimes it's just the simple fact that people choose not to research. People choose not to open their eyes. People choose not to learn something different than what they've been told to learn. You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of times, like, Kanye West's delivery offends people because it's Kanye. But if it was somebody else and they were like kind of sugarcoating you into the situation or into what they, what their point was, it might be a little bit more accepted. But people don't accept it because it's Kanye. Kanye already has been labeled as crazy and not all the way there, and oh, he must be going through something. So that, you know what I'm saying? To me, that's all like a setup to don't believe nothing he said. Oh, he's talking crazy again. This is that and the other. Well, let's just be honest. A lot of times when people that have a spotlight on them are deemed as talking crazy or acting crazy, like, that's what you need to be looking into. You need to be looking into some of these comments that he's making. You need to be looking into some of these statements that go viral and offend people, because there's only one side being pushed, and that's the, oh, Kanye is wrong. He's offensive. He's vulgar. He's this, he's that. Sometimes that's what people need. You know what I'm saying? Whoever Kanye is supposed to reach, believe it or not, he's still reaching them. Like, there's nothing you can do about him reaching people. And at this point, even if it was a whole cancel Kanye thing and Kanye wasn't able to be seen on social media and whatnot, whatever, like, he's still going to be able to reach the people that he's supposed to reach, because that's what happens, you know what I'm saying, with situations like these. You can shut them up, but they've already said things that have sparked something in somebody. You feel what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get back into it.
Sorry for the people that are hurt with the DEF CON, the confusion that I call. I feel like I cause hurt and confusion. And I'm sorry for the families of the people that had nothing to do with the trauma that I had been through, and that I use my platform where you say hurt people, and I was hurt.
It's an uncensored interview. You said something which you've now wished you hadn't said, and you've apologized. I actually think that says a lot about you, right? That shows you've got that ability to be self-aware, to understand when you cross a line. I think someone like you, with all your energy and creativity and your passion, you're going to say stuff. The way that you talk constantly and in such an extraordinary manner, you're going to trip up. You're going to say things the wrong way. I don't think there's anything wrong in, when you do that, doing what you just did.
See, and I feel like, with that being said, like, it's kind of low-key begging for him to feel bad about what he said. Now, let's be clear. It's a difference between being apologetic over what you said versus being apologetic over how you said it, right? They don't want him to be apologetic for how he said it. They want him to just across the board say, I was wrong for saying this. I should have never said it. I'll never say it again. Like, this is what I'm getting from this. Like, this is what they want to happen is, you should just admit you never should have said it. And it's just, no. You can't force somebody to see I mean, not even see. You can't force somebody to say that what they said was wrong, because you're not them. So, that being said, you can't expect that from him. If he does not feel like he was wrong, he's not gonna say, I'm sorry for saying it. Hence the reason why I'm sorry for the confusion that I brought. You feel what I'm saying? Because the confusion wasn't his intent. You know what I'm saying? In his mind, he's like, nah, what I said was clear cut and to the point. It's facts. You know? And I low-key feel like this is like a way of trying to beg him to say, I'm sorry for being me. I'm sorry for being who I am. And nobody ever needs to apologize for being themselves and who they are when there's no harm intended. Now, I do know that there are situations where people intentionally do things. They do it with ill intent. They don't want to change. They don't want to be a better person. They're all around not a good person. But even in that instance, like, can you make somebody apologize for who they are? You know what I'm saying? Like that's a very touchy topic right there.
And say, I'm sorry, I crossed a line, I apologize.
I want to say that it's wrong to hold an apology hostage, and I got to let go of that and free myself of the trauma and say, look, I'm just going to give it all up to God right now and say to those families that are hurt, I really want to give you guys a big hug, and I want to I say I'm sorry for hurting you with my comments, and I want to word it in not in like a political way, but in a presidential way, which means what I knew a president to be when I was growing up.
Okay, so that's the end of that. Like I said, I have 2 clips for y'all to check out. It's really not, I'm not trying to force nobody to see things Kanye's way, but at the same time, it's not really seeing things Kanye's way. It's just knowing when to call BS, right? So with that being said, enjoy these next clips. Thank y'all for tuning in. Definitely come back, definitely give your input. I will say I'm not looking forward to any disrespectful comments, so I will delete disrespectful comments if there are any, but I am looking for healthy dialogue. So without further ado, here's the next clips, and I will catch y'all in the next one.
So, and I'm in front of a room full of Jewish people.
Right.
And I'm asking basic questions, and maybe you can help me out.
Right.
So let's look up the word anti-Semitic.
Right.
Who are the Semitic people? And then we're going to get to the public enemy thing.
Right.
So I looked up who is the Semitic people. And there's a list of Semitic people, and anyone can do this right now. You can look up who are the Semitic people, what are the Semitic languages.
Right.
Has absolutely nothing to do with any white people.
Right.
Not at all. So in order for me to be anti-Semitic, I'd have to be anti-black man, anti-black woman, anti-black people, anti-Africa, anti-all of the people.
Because the Semitic people
are black people.
So y'all get that clarity. We're going to say that again.
Now,
the Semitic people are black people.
So I cannot be anti-Semitic. Now, what do they really use?
With Jesus and the Jews white? This is a question. Let me go up here. For my college people, it's not called Sigma Phi Beta. It's called Beta Israel. Beta Israel, which is the house of Israel. Right? So this is what it said. No matter what you show our people, our Christian people. I don't know, but it's $10,000. I'm just telling you what he said. Don't worry about how much I paid for it, y'all. I'm a book finder like that. But no matter what you show our people, they're going to go right back to being a slave. Europeans ain't got to do nothing no more. Look at this. With Jesus, Jesus and the Jews white. I'll put it back up here for you. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got you covered. I'm not one of these black politicians that's going to give y'all half the story, or some of these YouTubers that give y'all half the stuff. I'll give it to you. No. Right? Jesus and the Jews were, look at this, of the same people, the so-called black, so-called Negro. See that? We all the same, people. We're not different. We're not different. This is what I was showing him. Yeah, tight. In your face, right? This is what I showed him. So you think the Europeans are not studying this? I'm going to give it to you again. Who are the people who call themselves Jews in America? But they want to come at Minister Farrakhan, right? They want to come at the minister, right? Look. They are Europeans. Let me take you to here then. Let's go to history now. 100 amazing facts about the Negro. Remember, Negro, and you got European. Hold on, let me show y'all something. This is what your scholars should be teaching, but they won't be teaching you this, right? Wait a minute. Nubian, Ethiopian, Moor of ancient Egypt, and Negro. You see that? So hold up. Black and color, like white, are on the other hand European words. Wait a minute. Did it say white or European? They are Europeans, right? Wait a minute. Are European words. Ethiopian and Moor were properly used to describe the so-called blacks until the 1500s. So why don't you go ask your black scholars this question? And how could we be anti-Semitic when we are the Semitic people? How? Somebody talk to me, baby. Somebody talk to me. We're going to come out.